Today I'm taking a look at the New England Carousel Museum in Bristol, Connecticut. It houses one of the largest collections of carousel horses in the United States. Admission is less than $10 per person, and I would definitely recommend taking a look at it if you're in the area. Carousels have been around for hundreds of years, but the modern carousel that most of us would recognize today came to be in about the 1860s, from what I have read. Looks like the first steam-powered carousel was invented by Thomas Bradshaw in 1861, and then in 1870 Frederick Savage invented the mechanism that makes the horses go up and down as if they're galloping. Before that, most of the carousel horses were stationary. They didn't move at all. Now you'll see three main types of carousel horses. There's the standing type, which is a horse where all 4 feet are on the ground. It does not move at all. The prancing type, which is where the 2 rear legs are on the ground, but the 2 front legs are up in the air. And then the common type that everybody knows of today is the jumping type, which is they have all 4 legs off the ground and they move up and down. So now let's take a look at all these amazing horses. And camels. And you'll see other animals too. This horse here is an old standing model from Lake Compounce. It was removed from the park in 1911 and apparently replaced with a jumping model. And this bench also is from Lake Compounce. It was from the trolley line that went to and from it. You'll see that a lot of these horses are in amazing condition, and that's because the New England Carousel Museum also restores them. So I would say the vast majority of these are not in original condition. They have been restored, but they look amazing. And one thing I noticed was almost all the horses have their tongues out. I've been on a lot of carousels, of course, like most people, but I never paid attention to that. But yeah, you'll see almost all of them have their tongues out. And now see that bench there, or sled type seat? Tell me in the comments, how many of you that have gone on carousels actually sit in that? I think I very rarely have seen anybody sitting in those. And I don't know why you would if you had the ability to go on a horse. This long black horse here is actually not from a carousel. It's from a steeplechase ride, which is essentially a roller coaster with racing horses instead of cars. And it's apparently from Steeplechase Island in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I'm not sure if this is out of a carnival or if this was actually on a carousel, that sign there. I didn't see any sign saying exactly what that was. See a camel back there. And then, what do you think this animal is here, right here? You think it's a dog or a dragon? Or something else? I don't know. It looks like a dog with dragon ears to me. And I don't know how old this is. It looks modern, but I don't think it is. And in the background there we got some deer or reindeer possibly. And is that a giraffe? Yeah, I think that's a giraffe right there. Got another giraffe in the back there, a zebra. Actually, two zebras, it looks like. Guessing Butlins was the name of a carnival. And it looks like there is, what, a bulldog or a pug there stuck under the saddle? Why is that? That's weird. What is that? What's the story behind that? Is that how people used to carry their dogs around? And then here we have a leprechaun under the saddle. What does that mean? That just seems weird. Oh. And then we've got some horses here that are under repair, it looks like. Now I know they have an actual repair shop upstairs. So I'm not sure if these are actually under repair or they just have them on permanent display, partially repaired. Too bad this thing was out of order. I would have liked to use that. Over here we got some even weirder creatures. So that looks like on the wall there, is that Puss in Boots? And then was that a giant chicken or an ostrich? Looks kind of like a giant chicken. Pig. Some mini cows or bulls. Tiger there. More pigs. I guess if they go up and down, they would be flying pigs. Now this carriage here, I don't know if this was actually on a carousel or not. It probably said on that plaque, but of course I didn't read it. And this donkey here, it kind of looks like his head would have bobbed up and down. You can't touch him, so I couldn't test that theory. Giant rabbits or hares, looks like. More of those sit-down ones. And in the back there, that actually kind of looked like a steeplechase horse, but now that I look at it, I think it is a jumping carousel horse. And I like the dog here, the golden retriever. I don't think I've ever seen a dog one before in person, like on an actual carousel. And then they have a random bumper car mixed in. Now this section here seemed to have a lot of newer carousel horses. These seem to have been made in the last 20 or 30 years or so. And these get a lot more elaborate. And also more delicate. Almost like I wouldn't want to sit on these. I would be afraid of breaking them. You know, just putting your foot over them, you'd knock a piece of it off almost. Now this one here, it looks especially delicate. I can't imagine how you would even sit on that. The wings would be right in your face, I think. It's beautiful, but it doesn't seem practical. And this is showing the process of how they make them. It looks like they, they have a mold, of course, and do it that way on the modern horses, quote-unquote horses. But in the past, I'm pretty sure they were carved. Now this one, especially here, this peregrine falcon, I can't imagine anybody sitting on that. That looks so delicate. I would think you would just knock the feathers off. And they definitely wouldn't let little kids on that. I can't imagine. And a lobster. I've definitely never seen a lobster carousel animal. I want to say horse, but I guess, obviously they're not horses. Now we're up on the second floor. A good portion of the second floor is filled by a banquet hall, which apparently they rent out for meetings and other events. And there's also a fireman's museum at the far end. I love this collection of little miniature carousels. This one on the end had a light trigger, or a light sensor, which kind of surprised me when it went on. I don't know what style this is. I know I've seen this type of glass before, like in the 80s, it feels like. I don't know what you call that. And if you look closely, the horses, some of them are going up and down. Not really sure what that one is there. Kind of reminds me of a bird cage. And this one is Legos. It's pretty cool. And this big one here in the back, I don't think it's operating right now. It's weird. It has, looks like old computer speakers from the 90s in there and a bunch of wiring. So I'm not sure if that one's actually working. This one is definitely the most elaborate. It didn't turn on though. I wish it did. That would be great. Now this is the workshop or the repair room I was talking about earlier. And they're definitely working on them because the second floor really stunk of like wet paint and varnish. So I could imagine somebody getting a headache if they were up there too long. And this dog here looks almost exactly like the mascot of the Yukon Huskies. I'm not sure if that's what he was designed after, but he looks exactly like him. There's a turkey. I've never seen a turkey on a carousel before. That tiger there looks very old. That's probably early 20th century would be my guess. And that crocodile there is weird. He's got a little handle on his neck where I'm guessing you can move his head up and down. A seal there, a fish. And this here looks like a minotaur with Teddy Roosevelt as the head. That looks like a medieval horse there with his armor on. Tiny little lion. I think only a really small kid would fit on there. Now, the museum also has a working carousel. It's a apparently a miniature Venetian carousel, and they actually let you ride it. It's one free ride per ticket, and from what their website says, you can pay $1 or $2 to ride it again. So let's take a ride on the carousel. Hope I don't make anybody dizzy here. This carousel is not very large. I would guess it's roughly 1/3 scale. But it's definitely a lot of fun. And there you have it. That's the New England Carousel Museum in Bristol, Connecticut. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already done so. It really makes my day. And I'll see you next time.